Back to part 3 of an SEO tutorial series that I'm working on. In the first 2 parts, we talked about, in general, what Google wants to see, what it considers as valuable. And then in the second part, we talked about, well, how does Google see the world and what kind of factors should you worry about when working on optimizing your site and working on optimizing things away from your site? Well, in part 3, I want to give you kind of almost like a sense of every time you're looking to add a page to your site, whether it's a page that talks about your services, whether it's a piece of content, I want you to think about and understand what factors are actually important, and just, so you're not just like shooting in the dark all the time. Because when I first got started with SEO, if you read about like how to optimize a web page, you're going to see like a list of like 20 different things: title considerations, content considerations, formatting, images, how to optimize this and how to optimize that, and what code to add. And it felt really overwhelming to the point where it was almost paralysis by analysis. And then as time went on and I experimented and I published something, and then some things worked and some things didn't work, I started realizing what's most important, and then what are the nice to haves, and what are the things that just don't matter at all. And I just want to, that's years of experience and months of work and testing that it took me to understand these things. And I just want to pass it on to you in a few slides, and hopefully you get some value out of it. So let's make an analogy for dressing your website. The analogy is that you're dressing your kids, right? So if you're taking your kids to school for the first day, you want to make sure that they generally look good, they have a nice haircut, they fit in fashion-wise, and they might have like one of the more popular backpacks. And it's just things that help you and your child, or help your child really get better accepted in school. So web pages can be considered the same, but the looks of a web page is like the URL, the metadata, the anchor text, and the content. And if any of those are new, or you're not sure about the ins and outs of any of those, video series part 1, video series part 2, I drill down into that stuff pretty deeply. Right, and the idea is you dress your website for success, so you kind of fit in with Google. Google doesn't pick on you. So how do you actually go ahead and optimize these things? Well, the truth is, we talked about those 4 things, and it's a combination of those 4 things that really leads to success. And when you use the right combination, it makes all the difference when it comes to how valuable or how fitting Google thinks you are. And eventually, the more valuable Google thinks you are, the higher your content ranks compared to your competitors. And I want to show you a few simple ways that you can consider optimizing. When you're adding content, when you're planning content, variety is the spice of life when it comes to SEO. So just like humans have a ton of different ways to say the same kind of ideas, Google is looking for some variety in your content as well. So avoid using duplicate words and phrases in URLs, metadata, anchor text, and content within the page and across all of your pages. And I'm going to give you some context here. So when I first got started with SEO, I would there would be like maybe a local business or something that I wanted to rank for. Let's say a carpet cleaning company in Chicago. So I had this website, and then I did some keyword research, and I found that I wanted to rank for carpet cleaning services, and carpet cleaning company, and best carpet cleaning company, and top carpet cleaning company in Chicago. So those are all pretty similar keywords. It's the exact same topic, right? It's the exact same topic, but in old school SEO, what you do is you'd create a page for top Chicago carpet cleaning company. You'd create a page for carpet cleaning or best carpet cleaning agency. And you'd say another page for top carpet cleaners in Chicago. So you'd have all these pages, and obviously what you're supposed to do is put your keyword inside the title, right? So now all of the titles and the URLs of the website, they all contain carpet cleaning Chicago, this carpet clean, this carpet. And all of a sudden, as Google got smarter and they started understanding what keywords meant, and they were able to like clump together keywords into groups, and now if they see one keyword, they can relate it to a greater topic. Google started seeing that, these pages just aren't that valuable. This website in general is not that valuable. It's just existing on the web in order to try to rank for as many keywords as possible, but it's not doing it in a strategic way that's also valuable to visitors. So now when you do SEO, You have to think about uh, like topics for your blog posts and categories of keywords instead of individual keywords. And then when you look at those keywords, then you can sort by highest priority, and then the highest priority, aka the one that usually has the most volume, or is the one that's going to drive the most relevant traffic to your site. That's what you put in your title and in your URL. And then for the related keywords, you can mention them throughout the content without overstuffing. When Google sees that it's instead of looking like you're keyword stuffing or trying to game the system, Google's just seeing a high quality, relevant article. And ultimately, with the other signals in place, it's going to reward you for it. Now, if you start blasting out all these pages and they all kind of look alike and sound alike, then chances are Google's going to filter out most of those pages, and Google's not going to know which page to really give you credit for the main keywords that you want. And you're just kind of competing with yourself, cannibalizing yourself, because all your pages on the site are similar. So we talked about keyword stuffing, and this is to kind of cement the point that over optimizing for keywords is attracting Google's attention for the wrong reasons. We want to seem like a high quality piece of content. We want users to come to our page and have it read natural and be high quality. Now, if you see the keywords and variations of the keywords in 30% of the content, A, the user's not going to like it. B, the Google bot's not going to like it. And it's just not a good experience for you. It's probably not going to lead to many good SEO rankings, especially not long term. Another concept is, so we talked about, we have the URLs, the metadata, the anchor text, and the content, right? And if you do keyword research, you're going to see, let's stick with our carpet cleaning Chicago example. Let's look at some of these words that we're seeing here. We're seeing carpet cleaning Chicago, Yelp. We're seeing the word commercial. We're seeing carpet cleaning services. And then if we look at the title for some of these, we see the main keyword here. We see the keyword in here, but like it's a variety. So there's the word in between. We have carpet cleaning services in this one. We have carpet cleaning services Chicago here. We have Good Guys Carpet Cleaning, and then a variation of the keywords at the end. We've got the exact keyword here, but mixed up, so the Chicago's in the front. We've got kind of a longer tail one here where it says cleaning services for the greater Chicago area, probably. We've got best Chicago, Illinois carpet cleaners. So what we're seeing here is just because I typed in the word carpet cleaning Chicago, only one or two of these results actually list the keyword exactly the way I wrote it in the title. And if you look at the inner page, if you look at what pages are ranking, we have some home pages ranking, we have some massive sites ranking. And for local, we're not really seeing, like if you're a local business, we're not really seeing your inner page ranking. But we are seeing the homepage ranking. So understand that there's no perfect formula for on-site optimization, but you can see that in general, somewhere the keyword appears in the title, somewhere the keyword is appearing in the content, and chances are none of these websites are overdoing it. And so what does that show you is that Google is fine with variety, and in fact, they prefer it. So if you've got carpet cleaning Chicago in the title, add a few more words to it, add another descriptor that you think is valuable. And then if you're writing your meta description, well, use another form of that keyword. And if you're creating the content on your site, yes, of course, include your main keyword, but also include variation. And if you're linking to that page from other pages on your site, don't just use the same anchor text over and over again. Switch it up a little bit. You're helping Google by giving them more context, you're looking more natural. And these are the kind of exercises that you do one time that are going to keep you in the good graces of Google moving forward. And that's exactly how I'd suggest doing it is if you have a main keyword, do a Google search for it. It can be simply manual, or if you have some paid accounts like access to Ahrefs, for example, they have a keyword explorer where so let's say you had an Ahrefs account, you could do carpet cleaning Chicago, for example. And this makes it easy just to see at a glance what the titles are, what the URL is, what some related keywords are, and eventually it'll scrape the search suggestions as well. So when you're thinking about optimizing your page, you can just get some ideas quickly from a tool like this. And a few others, including Moz, Majestic. This will just save you time, but you saw originally I just used the Google search bar, and that's obviously free, so it depends on your budget. So I talked about content and keywords, but we can also look at anchor text, because dressing your website for success means making sure Google knows that you're relevant for what you want to be relevant for, and anchor text is a big part of that. So anchor text related to your web page, it doesn't exist on the page that you're trying to optimize. It exists on other pages that point to your page. This can be other pages on your site, or it can be other pages across the web that have nothing to do with your domain. There's no limit to the number of anchor texts you can build, obviously. Popular sites have thousands and thousands of anchor texts, and each one of these texts help contribute to Google's understanding of what your site is about. Combined with the URLs, the metadata, and content, plus anchor text, all of this feeds into relevance, trust, rankings. And if you end up optimizing your anchor text poorly, this can easily lead to issues with your search rankings. Either they're just not rising, or they do rise and then they decrease. Because SEOs figured out that anchor text is important, and they also figured out that you can automatically build links with anchor text and sculpt the percentages the exact way you want it. And then as people abused this knowledge, Google had to strike back. So the algorithm is really fine-tuned for understanding when people are trying to trick the system, and it just improves over time. So it's important for you to always focus on building a natural anchor text profile that doesn't raise any eyebrows. Otherwise, you're going to run into trouble. So how do you use anchor text correctly? One of the best ways to avoid penalties is to think about your anchor text distribution. The worst thing you want to have happen is that you do all this hard work and you get onto page 1 of Google, and then you wake up one day and suddenly your rankings are gone, and you frantically try to find out where those rankings went, and you end up finding it all the way on like page 10. That's what's considered an algorithmic penalty, because the algorithm just kind of recognizes something as unnatural and they penalize you, and that can be a long-term penalty. There's also something called a manual penalty, where one day you wake up and you get an email from Google, you check your Google Search Console, and it says you received a manual action because of unnatural link building. That can also lead to a page 10 ranking, or it can lead to you being removed out of the index completely. Now, there's many ways for you to get penalties. Bad anchor text isn't the only one. However, it is a big one. So in the previous video, we talked about the different types of anchor text. There's brand-based, there's keyword-based, there's a hybrid of both, there's URL-based, and then there's just like natural types of anchor text. So the one that SEOs want to abuse the most, and the ones that they get impatient with their ranking, so they start hammering in on a keyword-based anchor text, that should actually be used sparingly and with lots and lots of variations even within that category, which includes the exact anchor text, just parts of the keyword, and then the main keyword plus additional words. A larger portion of your anchor text distribution should be branded anchor text, like in my example is Linkio. To give you a real life example, let's take the Linkio site. And I'm running it through linkio.com, and I imported all the backlinks, and what we have for our branded percentages for the homepage itself is 63%. That means 63% of the anchor text contains the word Linkio without any of the keywords. We've also got other things like the website name.com, which is another type of branded coming in at 11. And then if we look at the exact keyword, and my exact keyword is SEO management software and SEO software. So the exact keyword, we actually have very little to none. And then we have small percentages of partial keyword and keyword plus word as well. So even though we weren't focused on keywords necessarily, we were focused a lot on branding for the homepage. I think we've made it to number 2 or 3 in Google for the keyword SEO management software. Here it is, number 3. And you see that I don't actually have the keyword SEO management software in the title. I have the word software here, and I also have the word best SEO management tool. So I have a variation of keywords. How I like to optimize my titles is I like to have a main keyword, and then I like to have a variation of that keyword also in the title. And then I did include that title, or I did include that keyword in the meta description. So even though I didn't build a ton of exact match anchor text, I built a little bit of SEO management strategy, so some partial keywords here, some compound keywords, and we still ended up ranking because that's what a natural backlink profile looks like. And if you wanted to calculate your own natural backlink profile for your industry, you can simply use a tool like Linkio.com, add your competitors, see what their percentages are, and then you can create those percentages on your own with Linkio and start aiming for them and seeing how you match up. So what have we learned so far is we need to help Google understand what our page is about by optimizing the URLs, the metadata, the anchor text, and the content. The more value we provide through creating a rich multimedia experience with content, images, videos, plus variety, that's going to increase our chances. And we don't want to sit there just because we know we're the best, we know we're the top. We don't want to sit there saying that we're the best and we're the top. You think about people try to put something like best carpet cleaning service, best SEO management tool, but oftentimes that's not the keyword, that's not the type of page that Google is looking to rank. Let's see what happens when I type in the word best SEO management software. So we end up with an article that compares, an article that compares, an article that compares, an article that compares, 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 compares. And then Linkio here, even though because I have it in the title, it shows up, but it's towards the bottom. And again, it's another comparison article. So I'm not going crazy with trying to rank for the keyword best because I know that Google prefers to rank articles that compare. So what I might do, however, is eventually, because I know that for a lot of the keywords that I want to go after, Google likes to provide comparison review type articles. That's why I spent a ton of time creating this SEO tools comparison. And here I can optimize it better for the word best. I might be able to optimize it for the word best management if I really wanted to. And this is an example of something that where we're taking the keyword, we're Googling to see what kind of content Google prefers, and then we're creating that content on our site, but we're doing it in a way that is better than anything else out there, in my opinion. I saw articles that talked about different types of tools, but I wanted to make it super comprehensive. So what we ended up doing is creating a resource where you could look at images, videos, leave comments, leave reviews, get quick links. And combined, this gives some good signals for Google. And if we look at the way that I optimized the URLs, my main keyword here was SEO tools because it had the highest volume. However, I also wanted to rank for software-related keywords as well as list-based keywords. So in the title tag, I put the definitive SEO tools and software list. And I also wanted to show that we're relevant because sometimes people use the search term 2018, so I made sure to include that in the title, and I ended it with my brand name. So in addition to that, to wrap things up, even though you publish a piece of content today, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to rank tomorrow. It takes time for Google to trust that your piece of content is better than what it already prefers out there. So you don't want to rush these things. You don't want to get impatient. You don't want to blast an article with links and hope that Google starts ranking you faster. You should look at your competitors, see how many links they have, see how powerful their overall domain is, get a sense of how many links you might need to compete, and use natural anchor text to build links to that page, using high quality sites, using good content, trying to improve your relevancy, and good results can come from that kind of patient approach. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment. You can contact me at aj@linkio.com. Feel free to check out Linkio and measure your own anchor text percentages. And if you want some additional information, go to the resources page at linkio.com. Thanks so much.